Patrol. How can I help you?
Is of the building completely collapsed.
You are looking at live pictures right now.
Rescue dog on the scene right now.
All right. Good morning. My name is Denise Sanders, and I'm the Senior Director of Communications and Handler Operations here at the Search Dog Foundation. On behalf of all of us at SDF, welcome to our Fall 2022 Search Team Pairing Ceremony. And welcome to everyone who's joining us from home as well, wherever you may be. We're so glad to have you here with us. I'd like to first introduce my partner here, SDF's Director of Canine Behavior and Training, Mandy Tisdale, who will be joining me to talk a little bit about the dogs in training and what they were like here as they progressed through this process to become a search dog today. Our entire SDF staff, from our administrative teams to our canine operations team, they really have worked day after day. Some of them are here with us to be able to watch this, to get these incredible dogs and really support them to get to this point where the leash is now being passed from our training team to their new handlers, who you'll meet here in just a moment. It takes a village, and we are so proud to introduce these 2 new teams that join our national roster, which actually brings us to a total of 20 new teams for the nation and the world this fiscal year alone, which is a pretty good achievement. So if we can give them a quick round of applause. So while we've been diligently training these search dogs through the months and even the years, they will eventually go on to certify and deploy with task forces across the country. And currently, we actually have multiple teams that are currently deployed in the Gulf Coast area following Hurricane Fiona. And we possibly have more getting ready to deploy today or tomorrow for additional storms that are moving through the region. So when we say that these teams are needed and that we are training them at the highest level, that is why we're doing this, is they can be ready to go out the door after certification at a moment's notice and go help those communities in need. So without any more delay, let's meet our newest teams, and I'll have Mandy introduce them and talk a little bit about what they've gone through over the last few months. Mandy?
So a little bit about what these handlers have been going through over the last several months. They've been working incredibly hard, not only on learning the dogs that they eventually now are paired with, but learning about dog training in general. It's a process. We don't teach our handlers just how to work with a individual dog. We really want to instill in them the idea of how dogs actually learn to get the most from the dog. And I will say that these 2 handlers in particular really rose to that occasion. We've had many conversations about dog training and learning theory, and they really embraced it in a way that was very refreshing for us as trainers. So I want to put that out there. They've worked very, very hard to get to this point, and it's a really momentous occasion today. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our first team. That is Patrick Easton and his new canine partner, Linus, with Sacramento Fire Department and California Task Force 7. When Linus's former owners could no longer keep him, instead of surrendering him to a shelter, they donated him to a service dog organization called Domestipups, located in Lincoln, Nebraska. Linus's high energy level posed a challenge for a career in service work, as you can see. So the Domestipup team reached out to SDF to see if the rambunctious pup might be a search dog candidate. Linus demonstrated his high toy drive during his evaluation and soon found himself accepted into our training program. He made his journey to our campus thanks to our partners, Angel Flight Central and Angel Flight West, fellow nonprofits that coordinate transportation for medical patients and now search dog candidates via volunteer pilots. So a little bit about Linus's journey in training. For those that don't know or unfamiliar with our training process, what we do a performance evaluation, which includes hunt testing, rubble testing, and a variety of other things that we do. And so we knew this guy right here was really comfortable on rubble from the moment he walked in the gate, basically. And then in our training, what we do is we teach the dogs their search work and their trained final response of a bark alert on the flat ground. We put people in what we call bark barrels, and we teach them the criteria and teach them that it's really, really fun to play this game before we go and then put it on rubble. The rubble is much more challenging, so we want to make sure that they're really having a great time and want to do this work before we put them back on the rubble. Linus was an exception to that. Linus was like, bark barrels are cool. I know how to do this. This is fine, but I want to do more. So we very quickly realized that we needed to get Linus on the rubble faster than most dogs. And he excelled. We put him on rubble and he was searching and traversing rubble like probably, I don't have a stat for you, but one of the faster dogs in our program in that regard. So rubble is his friend. He's a very physical dog. He really enjoys this work. He has a blast doing it. And you guys will get a demo of that later on this morning. So a little bit about Patrick. When he started coming out, he was working with a variety of dogs. And the training team, we really quickly realized that Linus was going to be his partner. Patrick didn't know it. Linus knew it. Linus knew it. Linus, he's a lot of dog. He's a fun Labrador, but he is rambunctious. He's bold. He's physical. And Patrick really has the patience for a dog like this, right? They really connected to each other. He really is patient with Linus and really understands what motivates him and how to work with him properly. And that bond happened incredibly quickly. So even though we had Patrick working with other dogs, this was the dog for him, and we knew it pretty early on. So, Patrick, I'm really excited for you. Congratulations to you and Linus, and we look forward to supporting you and watching all the wonderful things you're going to be doing in your career together. And with that, I would love to offer some time for you to say a few words.
Awesome, thank you. Do you want to say something? Sit down. Good boy. So first, I want to say thank you. Thank you, number one, to my family, my wife, Shauna, and son, Spencer, and Molly. If without your guys' support, I couldn't do this, obviously. He's thanking you guys, too. And secondly, I really have to say thank you to all the staff. Like, you guys... It's okay. It's okay. I know. You guys really do put all your blood, sweat, and tears into all of the training. Hey, it's okay. The amount of hours you guys put in is amazing. It really is. So, hey, it's okay. So thank you very much for everything you guys do, and thank you for allowing us to be part of the family. I really do. Okay. You feel better now? All right. Come on. Let's go.
And that's a search dog. The personalities on these dogs, I'll tell you. Great. Thank you, Patrick. So our next team I'd like to introduce is Michael Harkos and his new canine partner, Buck, with Sacramento Fire Department and California Task Force 7. Buck came to SDF along with fellow littermate Kaya. They were generously donated to SDF by Liz Pape. Despite being a young pup, Buck showed enough boldness and energy and to be considered for our training program. And Buck is a very special dog to us here at Search Dog. We had the fortunate experience of raising him from a young pup into this fun world that he now considers like a big playground. His personality shined through from just a very early young dog, and he really stole the hearts of the volunteers and the staff. Everybody holds a very special place, or Buck holds a very special place in the hearts of everybody here. And I want to specifically acknowledge two individuals that really, really, really took this dog under their wing. Two training team members, and that would be Jen and Heather Lynn. Thank you both for raising this pup, fostering him, and giving him the life experiences that he would need to get to this point in his career. So I just want to acknowledge the both of you. Thank you for that. Buck is everything that you could think about in a Labrador. You think about a Labrador, they're fun-loving, goofy, great personality. Combine that with the fact that he's got an incredible bark on him. You'll hear that later when we go and do our Rubble demo. He's got a beautiful bark alert. It's booming and music to our ears. When Mike started coming out and working with dogs just like Pat, he worked with a variety of different dogs. And same thing with Mike. We knew pretty early on that Buck was going to be his partner. Buck took to Mike very quickly. They bonded almost immediately. As you can see what's happening here. He's pushing Mike to do something with him. He wants to get going. Young pup wants to get going and doing some work. Buck has been a lot of fun, and Mike really connected with him in a way that really we didn't see with other handlers. Like Mike, I don't know what it was. It's the magic in the world, but Buck really, you can see the way he looks at Mike, really took to him, really enjoys interacting with him. And Mike is, when he started coming out initially, very, very confident, calm energy, which is really awesome working with dogs. But I will tell you, I see routinely a little flicker of a giddy little laugh when they're interacting with each other. And it is the most endearing thing. When Buck does something kind of goofy, Mike looks at him and it's like almost like nobody else is in the room and they have a little giggle with each other. It's very, very sweet. And so this team right here it's incredibly matched, and we're really excited for their future, and congratulations to both of you. And we look forward to seeing all the wonderful things you guys will be doing in your career together. So with that, I would love to offer you some time to say a few words.
Finish. Good. Thank you, Mandy. Oh, hey. All right. So I just want to say that it's the whole experience of coming out to SDF has been incredible. This is a wonderful place. Thank you, Wilma, for creating this. I also want to thank my family for allowing me to bring a search dog into our home and putting up with his high spirits and energy. And I also wanted to thank the staff here. The staff, you can tell, just coming out here, you see the dogs from start to finish, and the process they go through. And the staff put so much just love and patience, and figuring out how to get in the dog's head and get them to do all the search team stuff that they do. It's just amazing. So thank you, staff, and I want to thank Mandy and Julia and Abby and Tracy for putting up with me and Pat and training us how to handle these dogs. Yep. And then of course I wanted to thank our task force back home, Chief Pat Costamagna for supporting us to come down here, and Chief William Irvine for all the support he's done for the search dog teams on our task force. I also really wanted to thank Heather Lynn and Jen for raising this little puppy to the fine dog he is today, and and I wanted to thank the sponsors and all the people who donate to this organization, because you really do fund just a magical thing here. And I wanted to thank Buck for picking me and and I mean, he's just an amazing dog, and I love you, man.
Congratulations, you guys. So now that they've been officially partnered, we're going to go ahead and bring Pat and Linus back on out as well. These teams will receive follow-up training support from the staff here at SDF as they work toward certification. And they do that by training weekly with their task forces, as Mike mentioned. And they'll be working toward certification and then eventual deployment when disaster strikes, whether it's here in the United States or it could be anywhere around the world, as we're finding out by the day. So now that we're all back here, I want to introduce for the very first time officially our two newest canine disaster search teams to join the SDF roster, which are Patrick Easton and Linus and Michael Harkos and Buck. Congratulations, and we want to say thank you also to California Task Force 7 and Sacramento Fire Department for their support of the new search teams and the canine program. It really takes a full team to do this. The dogs go out on deployment and they can find people that might be, buried alive or missing, but the dogs themselves can't extract them from that rubble or from that disaster site. So it takes an entire army of humans as well, their handlers included, to make that happen. And it's a real team effort. So we appreciate that support and partnership from the task force and fire department. So thank all of you for being here today with us, and everyone who's watching at home, including our friends, family, coworkers, as well as our staff board and volunteers. It takes all of us making this happen. So thank you all for being part of the search. Let's give one more round of applause for our newest teams.